What is happening, Metal4Metal universe? We are here on episode 26 of Metal4Metal. Really excited about that. Really excited to give you some awesome news, especially some Anthrax and some Killswitch Engage news, as well as a new album from Anvil and some Megadeth news as well. And we also have something else to show you, but you have to watch the video to know exactly what it is. Oh, it's out here live on Metal4Metal. I'm PJ Steven, that's Dennis Parker, and we are here on the Metal4Metal Network to give you an awesome episode of Metal News. Alright, well, listen, I've been listening to a lot of Black Sabbath lately, which is why I'm playing my favorite Sabbath record, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, because Black Sabbath is dropping their new concert called The End, because it was their final concert. Really good stuff. I watched their single pair, or not the single, excuse me, but I watched their rendition of Paranoid. Really good stuff.
Rendition of Paranoid? What do you mean?
I meant performance. I'm sorry, not rendition. I'm sorry. Their performance of Paranoid was the last song they always ended it with, and it was kind of emotional. It was really cool. Ozzy was like, "Thank you for my life" and all this. It was really cool.
He had a pretty cool life. There was a lot of drugs and women. And you hear how he's been cheating on Sharon Osbourne? Not really in the news, but
she's known that for years.
Yeah. She said one of them was like this little Russian teenage girl and stuff like that. I'm like, man, that sounds kind of hot. That sounds kind of hot.
So I've been listening to a lot of Sabbath lately. A lot of early stuff. A lot of really just deep cuts off the albums. Things like Rat Salad, Sabracadabra, things like that. What about you?
Oh, what have I been listening to?
Yeah.
No, I've been listening to actually a lot of Metallica lately. Yeah, I found this one YouTube channel, and like what the guy did was he took all of the concert footage from their new tour, and he just put it together because there's no real like full-length feature of it. But Metallica on their YouTube page, they put up like little shows here and there, like one song.
Sure.
And he kind of like followed the set list, and he just kind of put it into like 1 3-hour show.
Oh, interesting. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I didn't have to just go around clicking on random things. He just compiled it all into one, and I was watching that a couple times actually. Yeah, it was guys, really good.
I'm going to jump into some local news that we have going on here. Don't forget that Monsters from Outer Space's new LP is out, Dead from the Beginning. Really great record. The Gutter Saints record, Satanic Verses, is out. It is awesome. Really killer stuff, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in the band. Really killer albums coming out from some new bands. Our Metal Hammered interview with Soda City Riot is out, and what a great interview that was. Those guys are a really great group of dudes. They kick ass, very over-the-top punk band out of Columbia, and I look forward to seeing them again. They are just such a fantastic band. The issue, I say issue, but it's not really an issue because it's non-existent. But there were some rumors from the Charleston music scene that they are a racist group, which is not true at all. And watch that interview, and Roger will tell you exactly how it is. They're not PC, so fuck you.
Now, when you say you're a band member in the Gutter Saints, is that like how the guys who come out dressed as Eddie, the Iron Man, they're like in the band? They're like
technically those are just people in the crew. Yeah. Actually, sometimes, because other times it's just someone with a remote control.
Like, so the guy in the Eddie, because like in the Big Eddie, I always figured it was like 3 guys on stilts, like standing on their shoulders or something.
No,
coming out, so it's like a robotic.
Some of them.
Oh, like, it depends.
Yeah, it depends. Like the one from Peace of Mind, like the early one. That's that's a guy running around.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because
the one that we saw.
Right.
That's a robot.
That's a robotic one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day the Gutter Saints will replace you
with a robot.
With a robot.
I can only hope. No one can replace us as a chef as a robot. So I don't know if a band.
Not even the robots want to do that shit.
I also want to thank Randy McKnight from the Living Deads for hooking me up with these awesome Brainicide stickers. If you don't know what Brainicide is, that was Tim Ripper Owens' first band that he was in right before
Winter's Bane, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
But Tim Ripper, I just like to nail that in. Yeah. But Tim Ripper Owens actually liked this when I put this up, so I'm really happy about that.
Aww.
That was really cool. So
that's
Tim
nice
Ripper Owens, if you're watching,
can I borrow these and you tag me in the picture with the same stickers, and then maybe I'll get a like from Tim Owens?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do anything. I'll do anything for love.
All right.
And the one thing that I will do for love is that I am offering you guys a chance at the new Metal4Metal merch, guys. I am very happy to announce that we have new T-shirts. They are $10 a pop, and that's them right there.
Ooh.
Hell,
I like that one.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
I want to thank
Metal4Metal shirt 2.0.
2.0. I want to thank Jacob from Redneck Nosferatu who hooked these up. As I also want to thank actually the sister of Stacy Burrick who helped us out with our Metal4Metal 100 subscriber bash. Her sister actually designed the logo. So I will put a link on our Facebook page where you can like her page, and she does awesome graphic art. So we're really excited to finally be selling these. Like I said, they're $10 a pop, and stickers are still $1. And with that, we're going to jump right into the heavy metal news that we have.
All right. Well, first up, we got a new GWAR song called "I'll Be Your Monster."
It's so good.
It's really good, and I mean,
it's off their newest record.
Yeah, it's off the new record, and it has a very Motorhead feel to it. Like, the first thing you instinctively think is like, wow, this sounds just like an old school Motorhead song. It really does sound just like Motorhead. And we were saying that, like, vocally, it kind of sounds like Rusty.
Rusty, if you're watching this, dude, listen to that album. I am not trying to make your head any more big than it already is, Rusty, but please, look up that song, "I'll Be Your Monster." It sounds just like you.
It really does, man.
And it sounds fantastic. But it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
love you, man.
It's a great song. I really liked it, and listen to it. I mean, I don't really know what else to say.
The video is great and really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, moving on here.
Actually, before we go, GWAR's new. I put a picture on this on our Facebook page. GWAR's new comic book dropped the other week.
Oh, you did.
It's the last one. It's the last one in the story arc.
How many comics were there?
There were 4.
There was 4 part. Right.
And really good stuff. Really fantastically written. The other one, they go back in time and they're like with George Lucas and shit. I mean, it's funny. Really good stuff.
Did they stop George Lucas from fucking with the original?
They did say. They said you're not gonna want to put any shitty CGI in this one, and they kill
they killed Lucas?
They didn't kill Lucas.
Oh,
no.
Okay. All right. Well, they probably should have. All right, so we got a little bit of Anthrax news going on here. Which one do you want to start out with? Let's start out with the big one. Let's start out with the tour. This is Anthrax and Killswitch Engage 2.0. Again, they did this last year, and it was an overwhelming success, so now they're doing it again this year, and tickets are already on sale, and fortunately for us, they are coming to the Fillmore in Charlotte, where we saw Testament. Yes, and it's going to be cool, man. I want to go to it. I don't know if I will be able to, but hopefully you can go to it and tell me about it.
Guys, I want to tell you, if I can save up enough money to get the meet and greet, I'd love to do a meet and greet and have, and do a Metal4Metal thing about it. If I can't afford it, I'll probably just do
those meets and greets are expensive, man, because Testament only has one. When we saw Testament, there was one, and I think they were like, I can't remember, it was like $120 a pop, though, right? But Anthrax is a couple tiers, and I believe I've read that Killswitch Engage has their own personal meet and greet that's separate from the Anthrax one, but I haven't really read into theirs yet. But the Anthrax one can go all the way up to some $300 to $400.
Our buddy Kevin Ellis has got the royal package.
He's got the royal.
No, he got the.
It was for all kings.
Yeah, for the.
I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what. But he's got the most expensive one.
Kevin, we love you, man, but we also hate you.
Yeah, because you're going to be able to sit on stage. You're going to be able to stand on stage for the first 4 songs,
which is pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool. And
but seriously, props to you, Kevin.
Yeah, and segueing into this, there's also Anthrax's Scott Ian has a new autobiography that's coming out in October.
Can't wait for that.
"I'm the Man," which just chronicles his life in thrash metal and in general, and I really want to read it.
He's still married to Meatloaf's daughter, I think, too.
Yes, as far as I know.
Oh, speaking of Meatloaf, Meatloaf Bad Out of Hell 1 came out this today, like 30, 40 years ago, so that's a revolutionary album. But Scott Ian's new book, I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read Bruce Dickinson's book, too.
Yeah, was it Push the Button?
What does this button do?
What does this button do? That's right.
He's already put out some signings.
He was on like a book tour. He was on like a book, or he's going on a book tour.
Yeah, I'd like to do it, but
I don't know if there's any in America. I could be totally wrong about that, but I know there is some going on in the UK. Moving on.
What else we got, boss man?
Moving on, we got some Megadeth news. Little two-part Megadeth news here.
Seems like we always have some Megadeth news because Dave Mustaine always got his fucking nose.
We really do go over a lot of.
We don't mean to just pick Megadeth shit. It just pops up in our news.
They're always in the news, and I mean personally, I just like Megadeth. So
better than Metallica.
Alright, so Megadeth was at, like, a farm or something, and he got bit by a tick and he got Lyme disease. So he's all sick and ill right now, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
I guess,
I mean, like, there's really not much to say about it. I mean, he just basically said, I need to come home. I have a tick bite from the farm. It really made me sick the last few months, and I'm really tired. But I mean, I'm always really tired.
I'm always really. Do I have Lyme disease?
I don't have Lyme disease either. But I mean, I'm not a physician, and I'm not really well versed on Lyme disease. But I don't think that it's like fatal in this day and age, is it? Like, I'm sure, like, in the Viking
we put
era,
a man on the moon, so I mean, we can't cure Lyme disease.
Did we bring back Lyme disease from the moon?
Where's my tinfoil hat
Think about that.
Think about that. Metal4Metal hitting you with some fucking knowledge, sucker.
And going on to something that maybe is a little bit more interesting is that Chris Broderick is claiming that Megadeth had a dress code while he was in the band. Now, he was saying that he, entitled Dave Mustaine, wanted you to carry yourself in a certain way. Well, I mean, all you have to do is look at my attire when I was there, and yes, he actually was wearing a button-up shirt, which goes on to say, so I wore a button-up shirt on stage 90% of the time. It would be different requirements like that. This is when I first realized something we were talking about before this podcast. I guess he's talking to the podcaster. Is like when you were talking about 50% of the time it was music and 50% of the time it's the image. Up until Megadeth, he had never really realized that. It was always 100% about the music for him.
So I think maybe with this new band that him and Sean Drover doing, Act of Defiance, you think he's going to try and focus 100% on the music? Or do you think he'll take some lessons from Mustaine?
I mean, I hope. I was thinking about this, and I mean, I don't know if there's so much a dress code, but I mean, think about the Misfits, They always came out just looking a certain way.
That's because that's a gimmick. I hate to say that, but it's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick, but isn't that just another form of a dress code?
I guess. I mean,
like, think of King Diamond. Is that not, like, he always comes out on stage looking a certain way? I'm sure the other bandmates
but that's not
a certain way.
I think that's different than a dress code. A dress code is, a dress code is a uniform, and I think the King Diamond thing and the Misfits thing it's natural. It's too natural to be uniform. For example, I think that Iron Maiden. So Yannick Gears, Dave Murray, they come out in Iron Maiden shirts. I mean, that could be a uniform. I don't think that's imposed by anybody. I just think that's what they do.
It may not be a uniform, but is it a dress code? Is there just thing like we're just going to come out in tight jeans and a metal shirt? That's what we do. Like, I guess maybe, like, to me, I never even really thought about it as a dress code. It was just like, if I was in a metal band going out on stage, I'd be wearing some jeans and a metal shirt.
Well, look at some of the bands on here. I mean, like, the Gutter Saints, they have their own gear that they come out in, but I don't think it's a dress code, I guess I guess
it's not really a code unless one of them one day just doesn't come out in it, and someone's like,
Yeah, then it's a code, I think.
Right.
But I think the same thing with like Dave Murray and Yannick Gears, they just come out in it. They're not forced to do that. Is it a dress code that James always has a bandana in his left pocket? No, he just always happens to have one.
That's true.
I mean, I just think there's a difference between having a gimmick, and I hate using that word gimmick, but it is. Having a gimmick and having a dress code. I think having a dress code for a metal band is very unnecessary. I think that if you want your boys in button-ups and all that, and that's not who they are, then it's not going to work.
I will say, though, that Chris Broderick and Dave Mustaine do look damn good in those button-up shirts.
And here's the thing. So they have button-ups. Is the dress code also for Dave to take his shirt off before Peace sells?
True enough. Yeah. Maybe that's just... I don't know. It's a very interesting question when you think about it. You know what I mean? It's like, say, like, you and me had a band. Like, are we going to... Like, and I came out in a suit and fucking tie. What the fuck are you doing?
I would, but I
don't enforce this dress code on me.
I would say, what is that? And then I'd laugh and go, fuck it. Like, whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because
that's what I would do, too.
The guy from Stone Sour wears a suit. The lead guitarist from Stone Sour wears a suit. I had a thought, and it just went away. Yeah. Oh, no! It's like when Dave Mustaine first joined Metallica, and Lars was like, we need the right shoes to be in a metal band. You remember that?
I do not.
That's in Dave Mustaine's book. He was talking about, like, you gotta wear these Converse or whatever. Like, he was like, you gotta wear this kind of Converse, not these Converse or whatever. And Dave was just thinking, like, what the fuck does this matter?
And now here
so
Dave,
that's ironic. You're
and now
absolutely
here
right.
Dave is under
now
the spotlight.
here's Dave here saying, "Oh no, you need to wear." That's a good point. I didn't even think about that point when I was saying that.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
So what do you think triggered that dress code?
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, this is just coming from Chris Broderick. I mean, we really have no other evidence.
Good point. Yeah, he could just be bullshitting.
I mean, he could just. I mean, like he could just be pissed off. So I mean, we really don't have any concrete evidence. Like Dave Mustaine hasn't come out and just confirmed, like, yes, like everybody has to wear a button-up shirt.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, when I saw them, Junior came out and he was just wearing a t-shirt. So, I mean, is it because, like, Ellison has been there since the beginning that he doesn't have to wear the button-up shirt? Because he wasn't the time I saw him.
Sean Trover doesn't wear a button-up shirt.
I've seen him times where he was, oh, Sophia just said she's doing my laundry. That's so nice. Thank you, Sophia, for doing my laundry.
Thank you, Sophia, for doing his laundry.
Thank you. I really don't want to touch that nasty shit. But, yeah, I mean, like, so I don't know. Like, if Ellison is, you know, was he exempt from the dress code just because he's been there as long as...
Isn't it Elfson?
Elfson?
David Elfson?
Elfson.
Yeah. Has an F in there somewhere, right?
Perhaps. Listen, I'm not good at pronouncing last names.
He's not.
I'm really not.
We do the best we can. We don't give a fuck what you think.
Like, I mean, like Jones and Parker. That's
now, those are American names,
That's an American easy name to pronounce.
Moving right along, we're going to get to our last news story, which is...
we'll go over this real quick.
Well,
Canadian cult metal act Anvil has completed recording of its new album, Pounding the Pavement. Drummer Rob Reiner states, I hope that's your real last name.
Not Rob Reiner, the director.
Right. The birth of the tracks has yielded much classic Anvil gold. Without a doubt, all pounders will find the songs emerging as their favorites, and yada yada yada. I mean, personally,
you're not a fan?
I thought the movie, what was it called? The Story of Anvil? The Story of Anvil?
Yeah.
I thought that was a great documentary. I love that documentary. And honestly, up until I saw that documentary, I'd never even fucking heard of them.
Really? Metal on Metal?
Never heard of it.
No.
Never heard it. So I listened to Metal on Metal because that's like their classic album.
Yeah, 82.
It's okay.
Really?
It's just okay.
I like it. It reminds me of
okay.
It reminds me of some heavier Accept.
Yeah, I guess that's a way to look at it. I just kind of like after listening, because granted they have a few albums out. They have over 10.
They have a lot of albums.
They have a lot of, and I've only listened to maybe 3 or 4 of them. But I was just kind of like, oh wow, this is why you guys didn't make it.
Wow.
I was just like, okay, so maybe it's not some fucking conspiracy theory out against you. Maybe you're just not as good as everyone else.
I mean, they're not. I don't think they're amazing, but I do think that they are a kick-ass heavy metal band. The album after Metal4Metal, Metal on Metal, Forged in Fire. That's my favorite record. I like Anvil. I look forward to hearing this new one. Their last record was Anvil is Anvil, which I didn't really like. But the one before it, Hope in Hell, that one was really good. Hope in Hell came out in like 2015. They've dropped an album constantly, like for a couple years now. Yeah, they've always. I mean, that's what the documentary went over. Is that they were always they were always putting out albums. And yet nobody ever heard. Nobody was reacting. To them. And they have terrific writing. It's one of those things, man. It's an invisible barrier that some bands just can't get over, and that's okay. Some bands just are like that, and no one can explain why. It's just the way it is sometimes. And I think also it had a lot to do with probably, I mean, maybe they were from Canada, and maybe they were just isolated from everybody else, But I mean, that can be said about a lot of other bands too. Yeah. You know who's not isolated? That's from Canada. Savage Henry. Oh, that's true. I thought you were about to say Annihilator because I think they're from Canada too. Night Jumps Queen. No, I can't. But I guess I can't with that fucking song. So not necessarily being in Canada, I guess could be the deciding factor. I just honestly I don't think Anvil's that good. I really don't. I think they're really kick ass. But I respect them and I love their documentary. Loved it. Because I mean it was a cool story, man. It was a really cool story. I mean they were still out there just rocking it in clubs. Like, you remember that part where he like pushed the guy up against the wall because like the owner of the club because he wouldn't fucking pay him. Yeah, and they're big dudes. They had their master recordings just laying in a garage in a box somewhere. Just like, I mean, what the fuck? Like That's rock and roll, man. That's rock and roll. It's crazy. Well, guys, that's all of our news that we got this week. We're going to get on to our topic of the week, which is something that's been going around for a little while. It all started with Dee Snider kind of making a ruckus about these celebrities, these mainstream celebrities, wearing metal shirts that they know nothing about, and we're just kind of gonna get opinions on it. So, Dennis, what do you think?
You go first, man.
I think it's. I think he's taking it a little bit too seriously. Does it annoy me that what's her tits, whatever, wears like an Iron Maiden shirt and doesn't know
like Kim Kardashian?
Yeah,
or
like doesn't know anything about it. Sure.
Well, Kim Kardashian or one of the Kardashians was the one wearing the Slayer shirt, right?
So, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you're taking it a little bit too seriously. Like, yeah, she doesn't know about it and all that, but it's getting metal some mainstream attention. I hate to say that, but they are mainstream. And yeah, you could say metal doesn't need mainstream attention. Well, then stop touring. Stop doing that. And, you know, it all comes from the thing of, like, selling out is making it. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Green Day sold out. No, they made it. Like, you know.
They hit the big time.
They hit the big time. Fuck it. You know, whatever. That's American dream. Entrepreneuring is the American dream, and that's all a band is, an entrepreneur for music, and you make it, that's awesome. How come when you invent something, you invent like these pop vinyls, you invent the pop vinyl, then you sell it and you make a shit ton of money, you're successful. But when you're a band and you make a kick-ass album and someone, like, you know, wants it and you sell it and you make money, you're selling out. That makes no sense to me. That's why I don't believe in selling out, music-wise. Getting right back onto that is like, it's getting metal some mainstream attention. Let them wear the shirt. We'll just laugh at them because they don't know anything about it. But there's no need to, like, you know, they shouldn't be wearing it. Like, whatever.
That is true. I mean, I guess it kind of goes back to, you know, there's really no such thing as bad publicity. But this makes me think of when Marilyn Manson was getting into it over Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber was wearing a Marilyn Manson shirt. But I guess Marilyn Manson he was saying some shit that it wasn't even a real shirt. It was like some bootleg shirt or something like that. So, I mean, maybe I guess you could make an argument with that. It's like they're wearing like a Slayer shirt, but it's not even a real Slayer shirt. Yeah. It's just something they bought from China that's not, like, you know, licensed and authentic. But, you know, I guess it is kind of stupid.
At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about it. I let them wear it. I don't care. And D. Snyder, I love you, man. I love what you do. I love what you stood up for back in the day. But, you know, don't waste your breath on this, man. They're just kids wearing our shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everywhere there's some younger brother who got into his older brother's closet and wearing a Misfits shirt or something, or a Lynyrd Skynyrd shirt or something like that. Actually, I remember when I was a little kid, my dad actually had a Lynyrd Skynyrd shirt, right? And at the time I was so dumb I didn't even know how to pronounce Lynyrd Skynyrd, right? But I remember just wearing it around the house. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's just kind of a no issue. I guess. I guess it's really a no issue.
What do you guys think? I do want to hear your opinion on this. Does it bother you? Does it matter?
It's kind of silly. I guess we can just make fun of them in the background and just hope that...
Exactly. We'll just laugh at them.
We'll just laugh at them and
let them get, you know...
And hope that they publicize good bands by wearing their merchandise.
Exactly.
Or at least a cheap rip-off of their merchandise.
Exactly. Well, guys, this has been a great episode. I always love these episodes. I cherish every single one. Episode 26. We're going to get right up to episode 100. I cannot wait. Guys, don't forget, we do have our merch for sale. I'm going to show it one more time. Our new shirts. Again, I want to thank Jacob from Redneck Nosferatu for hooking it up. And also, I will put the link in the description of who designed it right there on...
How much are they again?
They are $10.
Do I get a discount?
No.
Oh, fuck.
What do I look like? I'm trying to save up to go to Anthrax and Killswitch.
All right. Well, maybe if you can get an interview, if you can get the backstage pass, you know, the meet and greet, will you hit them up with the Metal4Metal?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. And what if they just shoot you down and you have that Megadeth moment where it's just like, oh my god, what are you doing? Asking us for this and spit on you.
Yeah. It'd be wonderful.
I couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah, really. Thank you guys so much for joining us again on Metal4Metal. Don't forget to check out our Metal Hammered interview with Soda City Riot. And we're going to sign out. Again, I'm PJ Steven. That's Mr. Dennis Parker. And thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
Metal metal, it's what I crave. The louder the better, turning my grave. Metal, can't stop the pain. Cranking it up, I'm feeling my need.